We'll talk about a view. Look at this. So friends, welcome to Bank Observatory. This here is Grote Reber, his telescope, I guess is what you would call that. Yeah, radio telescope. And he used it to survey the brightest areas of the Milky Way. So this area in West Virginia is one of the darkest areas in the eastern United States. Pretty much right up there with Cherry Springs. If you noticed in my star trails from last night, I mean, the stars and the Milky Way and stuff here is just epic. So, yeah, they use this to observe what's going on in the universe around us. It's also, of course, one of the reasons why there is no cell phone service out this way is because it would interfere with all the stuff that they're doing here. I'm not so certain what we're going to be able to do here today, but we're definitely going to check out what we can. So they have this cool room for like hands-on activities for kids and stuff to learn about things. It's quite interesting. A lot of this is above their age class, but yeah, I mean, they'll probably learn something from this, hopefully. So, friends, you can do like a walking tour and go check out all the satellites and stuff, but you can't use any cameras or cell phones or any electronic devices whatsoever, so I can't film any of it for you. You can film from this observation deck, and that's about it. What's interesting though is that guy Grote Reber, he built his first telescope using like parts from a Model T and lumber from the local hardware store, because like nobody would buy into his theories of intercepting radio waves from space. So it's pretty interesting how this all came about. It just shows what you can do with passion and dedication and all that stuff. This is just a few miles away from Cass, so if you're down there, it's cool to check out history. And then this is also historic, you know, because this was in like the 1940s that this guy discovered this stuff. So, I mean, like, Cass was a logging town back then. Welcome again, friends, to Durbin, West Virginia. This will be the final part of this series where we're going to be taking you over to Spruce Knob in the morning. That's West Virginia's high point. Pretty excited about it. So for starters, let's get cooking some burgers over the charcoal grill.
Watch how far I can throw rocks.
I don't think any of us can speak highly enough of this campground and the setting here along the East Fork of the Greenbriar River. The sun's just setting now, but yeah, I mean, it's a peaceful time here. It's a Sunday night now, so the campground's quieting down. Not that it was ever not quiet.
No, it's a really, really calm, peaceful campground. No.
Till our kids show up, then it's not peaceful anymore for anybody. All right, what is it?
Salamander!
Don't let Theo eat it.
Don't let Theo have it. He really wants it.
See?
Yeah, I see that. Now please go put it back in the stream so it survives. I'm not sure what I've talked about as far as burgers on the channel, but if you don't buy like pre-made patties, you can put some breadcrumbs and an egg and mix it in with it, and it helps it bind them together so they don't fall apart.
That's what we do exclusively. I don't think we buy pre-made patties. Yeah, pre-made patties, just not as good. But then you can also mix in burger seasoning or whatever other seasonings you want. I threw a whole slew of stuff in these, so who knows what they'll taste like.
Are you a really cute dog?
Are you a really cute dog? Are you? Oh yes, that's so nice. Look, that's so nice.
Yes.
Do you want a piece of cheese?
Yes.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. I'm hungry.
She's sporting her new Cass Scenic Railroad Climax number 9 hat.
Well, for now. I'm sure it'll become yours. Here and there.
I might claim it. This was her hat, and you see me wearing it in about every episode. Good morning, friends, from Durbin, West Virginia. Man, it's like the beginning of September, and there's frost on the ground here. It's in, obviously, the mid-30s this morning. It feels more like a November morning. Cool and crisp, but it's beautiful here nonetheless. We're going to be headed up to Spruce Knob in just a bit, as soon as I get done walking the dogs. It's about an hour's drive from here. It's not far as the crow flies, but I guess the way to get up to 5,000 feet or 4,000 some feet or whatever it is a long way. Twisty mountain roads. Well, my friends, welcome to Spruce Knob. This is the high point of West Virginia, 4,830 some feet, I believe. Today we're a little limited on time because we still got to pack up the camper and go home. It was a long drive up here, dirt roads, and a scenic drive though nonetheless. Up here we're just going to do the Whispering Spruce Trail, which is a loop around the high point here, and they have an observation tower. And I was told you can't see a whole heck of a lot from the observation tower because the trees are too high. Maybe the tower just needs to get bigger. Who knows? There are restrooms and stuff here available if that's something you need. And we're going to get to hiking on this beautiful Monday morning. We have the dogs with us, so it's going to be a little bit of a chore to try to film and wrangle kids and stuff. So we'll see how this turns out. Now, this reminds me, with all these red spruce trees you see behind me, this reminds me of Smoky Mountain, Tennessee. The tower up there, I forget what it's called. My brain's just not working. Where the highest point in the Smokies, they have the tower. The vegetation and the trees and such remind me of that kind of situation. We're obviously not as high in elevation, but we're farther north, so the climate would be similar. All right, so I was wrong. It's 4,863 feet. I think I had the 3 and the 6 at the end reversed. So just want to be clear about the facts. And yeah, this is the Whispering Spruce Trail. Half-mile trail offers opportunities to view different landforms, forested, pastoral scenes. So let's go check it out.
a fella I watch who does like dog training videos talks about how the dogs should be exposed to things like rocks and such. But I think that applies to your kids too. If you want your kids to be sure-footed, getting them exposed to this type of thing at an early age, probably good for them. The way they learn where they can put their feet and where they can't. In this type of environment, they can't really hurt themselves too bad anyway. So, Spruce Mountain here was formed 250 million years ago when the tectonic plates collided. And it says that the material that's left up here on the mountain is a harder material, and that's why it hasn't eroded at such a fast pace like things in the surrounding landscape. You know, basically, there's just rocks everywhere up here, which creates a very unique environment, that's for sure. So, no, this isn't the best view in the world, because you do have a lot of trees, and the tower just needs to be built taller, really is the big solution to that. But it is cool being up here with all these old red spruce, or they're getting old at least. I'm surprised that they grow this tall, being up on a peak like this. Normally the wind really stunts the trees up on these peaks. So, yeah, it's kind of neat being able to almost peer over the treetops, and you do get a good view that way. Now it looks like there's some lookouts around the knob that we're going to go check out too. Friends, this is about the same time as last year when we were in New England, when we did Monadnock and several things up in Vermont and New Hampshire. The locust trees was in bloom up there then, and they are down here too with all them red flowers down there, so it's really pretty. And the fall foliage is just starting to pop out. I'll see if I can get you some footage of color. But yeah, down that way you can start to see all the reds popping out. And so you'll notice, you know, the north-facing slopes will probably start to change soon down here. This is beginning of September, although things are happening a little early this year. Talk about a view. Look at this. Man, this short little trail is a lot of bang for your buck, for sure. I mean, you don't have to walk too far to get to the tower, and then, you know, from there to here is not very far, and you can see an awful lot. So we talked about that these are all red spruce trees, and the sign talks about how they only get branches on one side because of the high winds up here. And I got a really good shot of that when we were over at one of the overlooks over there, so I'll overlay that on the screen now. But look at this dense red spruce forest. Now, at CAST the other day, they were talking about the logging history, and this was when we were on the caboose train. And the guy was saying before they logged it, like, you would walk around these spruce forests during the day, and you would need a lantern to see because it would be so dark. That's how dense and thick these old growth red spruce forests were prior to being logged. So it just amazes me, you know, like, that this isn't even close to what it was. I mean, you can see the sun beating on me in the face. I was told that somewhere down near where we were camped at in Durbin, that there is a virgin red spruce forest, and so I'm going to do a little bit of research and try to go see that at some point in my life, because that'll definitely make the list for sure. But to me, it's just beautiful to be up on this mountain on this great day and see all this.
Hi, this is my phone.
So there was a sign back there talking about like the moss on all the rocks up here. I've noticed this, but anytime we're on top of these mountains with the spruce trees and stuff, you see this on the ground. Well, moss can't grow in places with lots of deciduous trees that drop leaves on the ground. Moss will only grow in a spruce or pine or similar forest on these mountaintops. So that's kind of neat. It's because of the cooler and the moisture, and then of course you don't get all the leaf litter, which would cover it up to a point where it wouldn't be able to grow. So we've completed the Whispering Pines loop. Down this trail is a purple lizard. It's a long ways. I don't think we're going to make it to it, but we shall see. This is trail 533, and we're just going to walk down it for a half hour, and then we'll walk back. That's about all the time we've got. We'll show you anything interesting we see along the way, but I expect it to be sort of similar to everything that we just looked at. Doesn't this remind you of the Dolly Sods? Not surprising because it's not very far away, but all these blueberry bushes, and this is probably an azalea of some sort here. We're just walking along the ridgeline essentially. It's mostly flat and kind of rocky. Well, my friends, right here we found a nice campsite. Maybe this is the lizard, who knows? You can walk out there and see the view. I'm gonna go film it for you in just a second. There's some people out there enjoying lunch, so I didn't want to disturb them too much with the kids and dogs and things. But yeah, what a great spot to camp, and then, you know, you just walk right out there and get an epic view. What do you got, Sarah?
Leaf.
What kind of leaf? Is that a maple?
I'm not sure, but it's colorful.
Oh, I think that's a maple. What do you think of the view?
I think it's pretty nice. We've walked for a long time, but it was nice.
Alright, so we are saying goodbye to Durbin, West Virginia. We had a great time here, just like last time. No problems, great campground, great experience at Cass, great experience at Spruce Knob this morning. Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough of good things about coming to this area, this region, Pocahontas County, I guess you would say. But yeah, we're headed out, which, like I said, is unfortunate, but you know, you gotta leave every place at some point, don't you? This was truly one of those places where having like a wall full of campsite windows is really to your benefit, especially on a frosty morning like this morning, because like it was too cold for the kids to eat outside, and we had plenty of space and view from the inside. So yeah, I mean, if you do come here, make sure you get one of the riverfront sites, unless you're really desperate for full hookups. Up here is not horrible or nothing, it's just I would rather be down by the river. We'll catch you next week, Thursday at 5 o'clock, just like always. I believe we will be at the Outflow Campground near Confluence, Pennsylvania.